Hey everybody. Well, I'm finally back. 6, 8 weeks I think it was of just running freshwater through this thing. As you remember, my mistake was not washing this stuff out enough in brute tubs in the garage for, weeks where it could have power heads and all kinds of stuff. My bad. I decided to do it in the tank because I'm impatient about putting the rock in. I really wanted to get it in there. And whatever, I suffered the delay, but that's okay. Because now I have salt. And salt is in here. So I have salt water. Finally got a bloody saltwater tank. Took forever to get it going. But I got the lights on just for the video, but they're going to be off, obviously, because I'm not going to crank those on just yet. But I've got about 5 bags in there right now. It's 270 gallons, so I'm probably going to need 6. But I've just got it up to about 117 right now. Using my trusty dandy little refractometer that I picked up today. A lot better than my little plastic thing that I used to have. It's got the little lens that flips up. A couple drops on there. Pretty sweet little unit. I mean, gives it bang on. It's so accurate. I mean, that's pretty cool. We got that going. But the coolest thing so far, I mean, I don't have all my stuff in here yet, the reactors and all kind of jazz, but I do have this. Oh baby, look at this guy. ATI Power Cone 350 IS. It is pretty sweet. I mean, the water level's too high for it right now, and I'll probably jack it up onto some egg crates or maybe even those porous stones that you can do just to raise it up. Technically, it should be in 7 inches of water for optimum, but I mean, it's already working pretty sweet. So it's in about 11 inches. I mean, you can see the action going on under here. It's already bringing out some scum. I didn't think it would actually do it this fast, to be honest. I've got the socks in with some carbon just in bags right now. I've got a carbon pellet reactor I'm going to be using, and just some and a GFO as well. So that kind of stuff's going to be going in here. What else I got going on? So I got all the cords. I'm going to run them all out of the tank. So there's going to be no controls in here whatsoever because everything's going to go through the wall and into the drawer. So right now it's just a mess because I just wanted to get the pumps through here and get the stuff off the counter because it's been up there for weeks and my wife's going crazy. So I thought I would just get the stuff at least down the drawer. I got a little fan down in here for the, gets pretty warm from the plugs in the back. So once this is all kind of pimped out, it'll be all nice, and I stick it all in there with everything and with the Neptune, with the Apex. So I have no idea how to use this thing yet, but trial and error, I'll figure it out. I got the guys from the store are going to help me out with stuff. It's fairly new to them to a certain level. I don't think a lot of people are using it because it's probably overrated, but I'm a techie nerd and I love all this kind of crap, so I did it anyway. So after about 24 hours running the salt through here, once I get it up to the right specific gravity, I'm going to be running the special blend in there. Run that through just to get the bacteria going to start eating away at all the other crap that's inside the tank. And then after a cycle of that, we'll fire up the night out too. This stuff apparently is going to jump start the whole tank, so I'll get all that going. Then I'll add, all the copads and all that kind of stuff, but that'll be another video. A big note to mention, I was having problems before with my Kessels, the AP700s. What it was I had this left one as the master and the right one was the slave. For some reason, they weren't communicating with each other. I called Kessel, got a direct line right to them. They were awesome. Basically what she told me to do was just make sure the firmware was up to date. I brought my laptop down, plugged them all in. The firmware was good. The 2.1 is the latest. And then I also reversed it. I just put this one as the main and this one as the secondary, and then it just worked. So what I was having the problem was it was just delayed between the two. And then this one would do everything right, and then this one would do nothing, and then eventually it would come on. I still haven't run a full cycle with the lights yet, but it's pretty good news to see that just when I'm doing the manual stuff, I can change it, and then there's no delay between either of the two lamps, so that's a pretty huge bonus. That pump in there is just to jack up the flow in there. That's actually my emergency evac pump, I guess you could say, or overflow. So that's going to go down in here, and then just in case something goes on with the overflow or shutdown or whatnot, I'm going to have two mechanical switches. One is a fail-safe to pump water out, and that'll actually pump out through that hole, which we will have some PVC pipe going in here, and then you can see there'll be another hole right in there, and then that's going to run through the cabinets, and then under the sink into my secondary trap in there. Hopefully you can see that. There's all my plugs. Yeah, probably overdid it, but I've got two 20 amp. That's 20 amp. That's a 20 amp. I'm gonna run all the plugs, pumps, whatever I need. Make sure it's excessive, but that's okay. And then up in the top of this bad boy is two more 20s, or I think I got two 15s up there. I can't remember. But I'm gonna have the power heads will be plugged into that. So I'll have another whatchamacallit, power bar, which will run through that cabinet into these cabinets, and then they'll run into here. So all the probably drill another hole up in there or something, but probably not, just because I don't want to put all the sawdust and crap inside the tank now. But anyhow, that's where I'm at. I'm pretty excited now. Who's kidding you? Stuff is actually finally starting to come together. Maybe I'll have fish in here by Christmas. Anyway, it's a longer video. Pass it on to people. It's always good to have these. The only reason why I'm doing them is because of the fact that I've had so many great tips and everything from YouTube, and everybody's been awesome. All kinds of great comments. Guys are telling me, do this, do that, or just compliments or whatever. I don't know if you like the rock work or whatnot. My guy says it's too much rock, but I don't care. I like the way it looks. I'm not going to overboard the corals in here. I'm going to do a mixed reef. I'm going to have a blend of all kinds of things, and trial and error. I'm sure things will die, and I'm going to do my very best to make sure that doesn't happen, because who's kidding who? You become emotionally attached to your stuff. So this is pretty hazy still right now, just because of the salt more than anything. It's actually crystal clear right now afterwards once this dissolves. So that's my son's Skull Island. That's what he calls it. It's pretty cool. It's actually got two faces. This is the other side. But, lots of little caves that we all dug out. There'll be nooks and crannies for sponges and mushrooms, and I love this shelf. Up in here we'll have tucking whatever can go in there that doesn't want a lot of light. There's all kinds of things, mushroom sponges. We'll have SPS. I should have had the video of it, but I had a par reader for the depth, and I had about 150 or so, even down at least this deep, because the tank is 32 inches. I had to chop it down a bit because I thought it was too high, and I'm glad I did. But it's about 32 inches or so to the top of the sand bed, so we'll see how good these APs are. Hopefully I don't have to supplement them with any T5s or other Kessels, but if I do, I do. That's what you gotta do. That's what happens. It's officially 100% an absolute money pit. And next week I'm hopefully going to be able to show you my QT system. Quarantine tanks and a frag tank going in the other room. So stay tuned, pass it along to some friends, subscribe, all that kind of fun stuff. I know my videos aren't great, but what do you do? I'm not that good at it. Cheers. Peace.